Welcome back to another episode of the Stick 'em Up podcast. We're finally back after a pretty long hiatus, but nonetheless, we're ready to start off the new year right, getting a consistent schedule, and just talking about everything that we like to talk about. So, you got anything to say?
No, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
All right, so we want to introduce our player of the pod?
Yeah, our player of the pod for today, and honestly could have been for a while just because of how well he's been playing, is Jack Hughes. I think he's on, a 50-goal pace?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he has 30 goals in 44 games, essentially.
Probably, I think, from the beginning of December.
He's on pace for 60, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, all right, so from the beginning of December for sure, maybe even earlier than that, he was, actually went off and, people were, starting to realize, maybe not everyone, but people who were against him, calling him a bust, and definitely Rangers fans as well. Everyone's finally seeing the real Jack Hughes, a non-injury riddled Jack Hughes that can actually keep up with the elite talent in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it was his first year that was really a bad year. That was really it. His second year wasn't even that bad.
Mm-mm.
But that 2018 draft class is just 2019, yeah, that's what it was. That draft class was just crazy too because I'll be honest, I think Capo Caco's having a decent year. Not what he still should be having for where he was drafted, but Hughes, Caco, Doc, Byram, Turcotte, and then Sider, Cousins, who just it's just crazy.
It actually it honestly gets better the further you go down that first round.
Yeah, I know. But Jack Hughes, he's definitely. If you redraft this, I still think you have him at number 1.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, Caulfield probably not. Maybe Caulfield's number 2. Yeah, but other than that, that was Jack Hughes. He's doing everything right, and obviously they're getting him the right line mates. Obviously, him and Heischer aren't going to play together, but on the power play, just Heischer taking the face off, and then when Luke Hughes comes, I feel like they're going to play even better.
Are you supposed to
do it? Luke Hughes might put up 90 points at one point in his career.
As a defenseman, maybe he's gifted offensively, but he's pretty sure even though they're doing fine and they're going to make the playoffs and everything, he's still supposed to join them at the end of the year. So apparently.
And Trevor Zegras, out of the 2019 draft class, Jack Hughes has the most points. Second is Zegras, and Hughes has 60 more points than Zegras for 1 and 2.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
if you think about it, a lot of this 2019, obviously wasn't that far long ago, but it's a lot of them still have some, they're all good in their own respect, but they also have something to prove for the most part.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And not to be rude, but some more than others.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's self-explanatory.
That goes without saying. But yeah, as the first round, as you go further and further down, maybe aside from...
Oh, my, Soderblom, Kochetkov, Simone Holmstrom. Damn, there's a lot of good people in this.
No, there actually is. But, maybe aside from Spencer Knight, who, he's not, bad by any means, but, as a goalie, it's hard to really establish yourself. He's only, 20, 21. It's one of the two, but... that first round was insane, and
Alex Turcotte too still hasn't done anything really.
Well, he has his own issues.
Yeah, Matthias Maselli's in this too.
In the 2019 draft.
Yeah, so is Mark Kostelic.
Well, not the first round.
Yeah.
Well, no one's paying attention. It's just the obvious. Nobody's paying. No one's looking at the 2019 draft and they're going, "Oh, Mark Kostelic he's just a depth guy." Maybe they'll be saying that about Matthias Maselli because until he got injured this year, he was doing really good. But Jack Hughes, definitely the player of the pod. It could have been for the past month if we were able to put something out. But he's definitely earned it. And for all I know, he could be it again, just like Tage Thompson was. You could maybe even give it to him again. But there's so many players in the league that have just stepped up their game.
The youth is coming.
No, it is.
Actually, the youth is here.
We could have easily made it McDavid because he's on pace for 140-something points.
Dude, yeah. And I just realized, too, I was looking at the stats. Because it's usually McDavid and Draisaitl, they're always 1 and 2 in points for the most part.
Yeah.
And, they're not, one's usually not that much further ahead than the other, in points. But do you know how many points McDavid has and how many points Draisaitl has without looking?
Yeah, McDavid has 84.
83.
And Draisaitl has to have 65.
68. That's still a big difference.
No, that is. And if somebody on the Red Wings had 65 points right now, I would be ecstatic. But Oilers fans are spoiled. They actually are.
They're also horrible at the same time.
Yeah.
We didn't really. I kind of want to talk them talk about them because I need to get a lot of stuff off my chest.
You do?
About the Oilers. Like, because I just don't think they're a good team.
Okay, no, all right. So it's going to be serious. Okay, well,
yeah.
All right, okay.
It's serious.
No,
I'm
that's
serious
fine.
about this.
That's fine. All right. So I mean, let's go back to I guess when Jay Woodcroft stepped in and
they were amazing. They actually scared me for once.
Yeah, no, they
did. And this season it's the complete opposite.
I don't think it's his fault by any means. I still think he's a good coach. I mean, the goaltending has been voodoo. Stuart Skinner has definitely been the better of the two. Apparently, Jack's playing a little bit better, but it's also like the opponents they've been playing have not been.
Yeah, they gave him like games against like Anaheim.
So I mean, starting there's issues with that. I think Stuart Skinner's going to become a good starting goaltender.
Absolutely.
I didn't know
But it's goaltending though, so like I bet you like he could be bad next year and be like a 920 the next year after. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's also the defense in front. That's the next point is the defense in front of them.
I don't even want to go there yet. Like, let's look at the forwards. Hyman, great signing. I think people are like, oh, years 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to be bad. Dude, no. The first 5 years of that contract are going to be good.
And if you're playing with one of McDavid or Draisaitl,
Nugent Hopkins is having a career season. Kane, he came back today. Puljujarvi, he's got to go.
That's a whole. I think that's
he's a healthy scratch tonight too.
I think that's a whole different segment. Is a whole different.
But that's
topic.
what I mean. Like Puljujarvi, he's got to go. Warren Fogle, he's got to go. Derek Ryan, 36. Janmark, no one. Holloway, I don't even know why he's playing in the NHL right now.
He's not bad. He's a prospect that has potential to be a top.
He's not bad at all. He's 21 years old, and he has 7 goals in 41 games.
Yeah, I mean,
is he getting better right now?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Can confidently say that. I'm not sure. I obviously we don't watch Oilers games to see how Dylan Holloway's playing to know if maybe he actually is playing with confidence. Maybe he does control play it more often than not. It's just luck, or maybe it's just he actually belongs in the AHL. I mean, he's a big kid. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3".
You don't need to play him right now.
No. I'm not saying they need to play him. It's just.
And then Kaylor Yamamoto, they just put him on LTIR.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's having a underperforming season. I mean, Mike Smith and Klefbom, they're never going to play again.
Which I was really surprised by Yamamoto because when Woodcroft came in, like the second half of the season, he actually he benefited from that, and he played amazing. And I actually thought it was going to carry over to this year.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's going on with him.
I mean, Darnell Nurse is overpaid. Tyson Barrie, got to find a trade him. He has 1 more year left at 4.5. I mean, he'll put up points, but you don't need a Tyson Barrie when you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
No, I think the better way to look at it is you don't need a Tyson Barrie when you have the $9 million defenseman that you signed, or
put him on the first unit,
or Evan Bouchard, who was when he was in juniors was known as a power play specialist
and had a great year last year and having a horrible year this year.
Yeah,
CC, I like CC. I'm not gonna lie. Oilers fans, I know they like Brett Kulak. Bouchard's having a down year.
Is he actually good? Brett Kulak?
Yeah.
Or serviceable, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. But, and then, I mean, I don't know. What do you think needs to change for the Oilers here?
Well, I saw a photo earlier today about the strength of schedule. I don't remember where exactly they were, how tough their schedule is for the remainder of the year. I mean, I guess you do what you've been doing because I think the most recent games they played, Anaheim and San Jose, I think it was just a California trip in Vegas, but I think you just do what you've been doing and give. I mean, sucks to say, give Jack the easier teams to play against, because I mean it seems to be working. Defensively, they're gonna. I mean, apparently they're going after Joel Edmondson.
Oh yeah,
and Gavrikov.
Don't give up a first for Gavrikov. Don't give up a first for Edmondson.
No, Gavrikov is definitely better, and I mean they both are going to do the same thing. They're going to be defensive defensemen.
Yeah, but you could even probably re-sign Gavrikov if you trade Barrie.
I mean it's kind of hard. Yeah. I can't tell you what he's going to do tomorrow. I mean,
I will be honest. Since the Penguins have been losing a lot lately, I don't really look at the standings because
it's fair.
But I am checking right now because I kind of have to.
Yeah.
And Edmonton, from the last time I looked, which I couldn't even tell you when, they are a lot better. 45 games played, 24, 18, 3, 51 points, 567 points percentage, which isn't the best, but they were teetering with 500 and below 500 for a while.
Yeah.
Plus 15 goals or goal differential, but they're 4th in the Pacific, and they're 5 points back of the 3rd place Kings. So chances are they still have a chance to get a divisional spot, but right now they're in the wild card, and if I look at that, they have their first wild card team tied, actually. First and second is Calgary and Edmonton, which are tied. And then Colorado, St. Louis, and Nashville are knocking at the doorstep. So definitely, there is no room to breathe if you're the Edmonton Oilers right now.
I mean, off topic, and we can. I might eat my words for this, but we can talk about the Nashville Predators another day because I don't think very highly of them, and I haven't for a while.
Honestly, I kind of want to talk about them.
The Predators?
Yeah.
Why do you want? All right, actually, yeah, that's fine. That works for me. I still think they're a team that's mediocre, stuck in the mushy middle. But I get you have Roman Josi, so you're going to go for it. It's the same theme for teams like the Penguins, the Caps, the Bruins.
I will say that they do have $1.5 million in cap space, and they're not using LTIR, so that's like their actual cap space. Mm-hmm. And at the deadline, they have $3 million cap space.
Okay.
That you can play with.
Well,
and they have a first, second, 2/3, 2/4, a fifth, and a sixth.
Well, Dave Poile should have been gone maybe two seasons ago, maybe more than that. Gave up Tolvanen, and he's doing amazing.
Yeah. No injuries right now either.
I knew Matt Duchene wasn't going to do what Matt Duchene did last year. Like that's not regular Matt Duchene. I don't know what that was last year. I don't know what John Hines fed him.
Should have found a way to trade him. Maybe after this year they might. Actually, let's see what he's doing.
I don't know how many years he has left.
He has 3 more after this one, and he's 32.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if any. I don't know.
Right now, he's got 33 points in 42 games, which is not bad.
It's not bad, but he had like 41 and 41 last year.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't that was. I don't want to say fluke. I don't know what it was. It was just a 1 in a million chance that was actually going to happen with Matthew Shane. I mean, that Forsberg, even Johansson had a good year. He had like 65
Forsberg had
points.
a great year because it was a contract year.
Yeah, and you know how that
Ryan
works.
Johansson this year 22 and 43, so like half a point a game, and last year 63 and 79.
I mean, that's not good. 22 and what? And he's making $8 million.
$8 million for 2 more years, and he's 30 years old.
I saw a thing saying that there was I forget what center it was that they're trying to go after as well. Oh, it was Horvat. How many more you have? Which all 3 of them can play center. They have Granlund, Duchene, and Johansson, and you're going to add a Horvat.
Yeah. And apparently Colton Scissors is only good at faceoffs.
Yeah, and he signed for like another 3 or 4 years.
3 more years at 2.8. But okay, now here's the thing though. So yes, before even this podcast started, we would always talk about what Nashville's a good team to get into the playoffs,
but not bad enough to
actually win a round.
Yeah.
So,
but not bad enough to be
You have Roman Josi, top 5 defenseman, arguably. Mm-hmm. Forsberg, top 10 winger. Saros, top 5 goalie. You know what I mean? You have one of the best goalie prospects in Askarov. Mm-hmm. You got a steal in Joakim Kemmel. That Uso Parson guy, as much as we joke about, you got something there of a player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just you traded for Ryan McDonough though.
Well, that was a whole different thing. Yeah. I mean, because
you have Cody Glass too. That on the Predators with their bottom 6, you can give Cody Glass ice time.
Yeah, I know he doesn't play every game.
And Tanner Jeannot, he's having a horrible sophomore season, but I'm sure he can. Predators fans still love him because he fights, he hits, he does everything. You know just not scoring as much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure next year and years onward, he's going to be fine. He'll get you the 40, 45 points. Yeah. Just the sophomore slump happens.
Okay, actually. We're not talking about the biggest elephant in the room, the biggest issue with the Predators. What Kevin Poile did a couple weeks ago that is actually paying off.
Tolvanen?
Yeah.
I said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, I didn't go too in depth with it, but yeah, I guess it was also his fault, and then it was also the 13 teams that passed on him in the waiver wire.
But it's also the cap. So this season alone, 11 points in 22 games with the Kraken. 7 points in 9 games, 5 goals. I mean, this kid is 23 years old. I think he makes a cap hit of 1.4 for this year and next year. Mm. Okay,
well, that's what I want to talk about. We ate our words.
Let's finish with the Predators first. Talk about then we can transition.
Yeah.
So why are you putting him on waivers? Why?
Because I read a thing saying that they tried him in all parts of the lineup. John Hines actually listened to Poile, and they actually tried to find him a spot on the first line, second line, third and fourth that he would actually produce. Obviously, the fourth line he was never going to produce there, but apparently they did try and the 2 of them, Hines and Poile, did try and make something work. They wanted him to succeed, but I mean it didn't work out. And then John Hines he's apparently known for his development with younger players. I don't know, not so much anymore. Even though Tomasino last year, and he's not even playing this year. He had 40 points last year.
He is in the AHL.
30
21 years old.
I don't understand that. I don't know if there's like a
24 points in 28 games on. Dude, last year he had 32 and 76.
That's what I mean. Like I don't.
Pretty good.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm happy he's producing over in Seattle. I mean, that's. Yeah. I think we all saw that coming. Though.
So if you're the Predators right now, what are you looking forward to get for the rest of the season going forward? As one question, and then follow up with it. What are you looking for them to do in the offseason? Go ahead.
So I think they're 3 games above 500, 3 or 4. They've played a little better as of late, but I also again I don't know who they played either.
They are 20, 17, and 6, so technically more losses than wins if you think about it that.
Yeah.
535 points percentage, -7 goal differential.
Where are they at in the conference, like in the wild card?
They're out of the wild card.
How many points? I could have told you they were out off the top of my head.
5. They're 5 points out.
I think. Okay, so for the remainder of the season, we touched on.
You might as well try to make the playoffs because you're not bad enough to get Bedard or a top 10.
That's what I mean. That's what we touched on before. That it's like at this point, we're a little over halfway through, a few games over halfway through the season, and you're sitting above 500, not including overtime losses and whatnot. But you might as well try and make it. You do. See what you can do. I'm not sure what
listen, because last year they got swept by Colorado, which but they didn't have Saros for it. Mm-hmm. You have Dave Riddick and Connor Ingram.
Big save, Dave.
So hopefully you have Saros this time, and maybe you never know what happens. So
you steal a series.
Just want to mention that part.
Yeah, I mean, you make it in, you create some. I mean, that's literally that's what they did the year they went when they made the final. They got in, barely got in, swept the Hawks. I mean. So maybe that happens again. Will that? Probably not. But say they do make it. See what you can do. Make some noise. But if it just if it's another sweep or even if it's just a first round exit, maybe second round too. I mean I don't know. You stay in the second round for so long.
Their division is unreal though because it's like Chicago who's bad, Arizona who's bad, St. Louis who is mid, Nashville can't figure it out. Colorado if they don't start,
they'll be fine.
I know, but good. Minnesota good. Dallas. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I see Nashville making the playoffs. Honestly, I really don't.
I can see that. I can see a role where that happens too.
What kind of cap space are they looking like next year?
But say they do make it, and like I said, they're either a sweep or they just it's a first round exit.
They have $9 million cap space for next year? By the way,
Dave Poile actually needs to sit down with the rest of his front office and maybe he just gets released by the. I don't know who the owner.
The longest tenured GM.
I think he is. I actually do think he is.
I think they can tell me.
He's been there for a long time.
For 15 years.
Yeah. He was there when
wait, no. Dude, he's been there for 25 years as a GM.
I mean, I think he was the one who personally brought in Barry Trotz. I could be wrong, but he was obviously there when Trotz was there.
For 25 years as their GM. So the team that's been around, it's been him.
They got to sit down in the offseason, the entire front office after the sweep that may happen. But they need to reassess where they are because they're not – you don't want to be in the middle.
Listen up. You have Saros signed long-term. Yossi signed long-term. Forsberg signed long-term.
A couple more years of Duchesne and Johansson.
You're not moving Johansson. You might move Duchesne.
You just signed Granlund the beginning of last season.
He has 2 years left though at $5 million Granlund. You might get something for him. Nino Niederreiter 1 more year left at $4 million. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't see this going anywhere for them. McDonough, oh my God, 3 more years of McDonough, 3 more years of Ekholm, but they might trade him. Yeah. Nashville's probably in one of the worst situations out of any team in the National Hockey League right now.
Yeah, but then you'll find Predators fans, and you'll find maybe not even Predators fans, but they'll be I mean, it's not like their prospect pool is depleted or anything. They have good, they have Kemmel, Askarov.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're great prospects.
And Tomasino, who still isn't playing.
But it's when you want to make that transition, and go into a retool.
Well, Tomasino should have been on the team.
But you have to find a way to get ready. You have to, because these players are taking up ice time. Granlund, Duchesne, Johansson, Niederreiter. They're taking up ice time from the young. They're going to take up ice time. So it's either trade them or try and do something with the team you have now.
Yeah, I mean, you have probably a better chance of finding a trade for Niederreiter, but it's also you just signed him. So it's
only
like
has one more year left at $4 million though.
okay, all right. Well then,
So like if Predators miss the playoffs, like okay, we're gonna retool. All right, we'll see you.
all right. So between Granlund, Johansson, and Duchesne, I think the easiest one to move is Granlund.
Yeah,
2 more years. Then Duchesne, because you've seen. I mean, I just harped on him about having a fluky season or whatever. But I mean, it helps. It helps if you want to move him. Stuff like that helps.
Johansson and Duchesne both make $8 million.
I mean, in the shortened season, Adam already had more goals than them at one point for the majority of the season. So,
I mean, I don't know. I think you just gotta decide what you want. Like this team that's built so strongly around defense, but yet you overpay for your forwards. I mean, that Forsberg contract's a great contract. 8 years at 8.5.
Yeah, he's worth it. He's 100% worth it.
He's a franchise player.
Yeah,
for Nashville, he's a franchise player.
He deserved that, and he's doing good this year. He got exactly what he deserved. It wasn't an overpayment. It wasn't a steal by any means. We talked. You and I talked.
Got 9.
He could have. And you and I talk about all the time. Like there's a difference between a steal and like what somebody deserves. We talk about that. And
I mean, last year, 84 points in 69 games, 42 points. This year, 38 and 43, 18 goals. So he's still doing good.
Yeah, I mean those stats for a Nashville team that's kind of just barely floating above 500. Last year at this time they were comfortably like
his last 4 playoffs. He's played 4 games, 6 games, 4 games, 6 games. So that's on Forsberg. That's on how Nashville can't get out of the first. And the year before that, they made it to the second round, 13 games.
Well, that's the status of the team. That's what we're.
I mean, like the Penguins, just keep losing in the first round.
They just gotta figure out what they actually want.
Yeah, Nashville's difference in their core is completely different in like a Pittsburgh, Washington, or Boston because they know they have you technically like if you just look at the age of your players and what you're like, say you just blocked out the names, right? And you're telling me like, all right, who's this team? You're like, yeah, this team can look like they can contend for like 2 or 3 seasons. You know what I mean? But with this team, you can't.
Yeah, but it's also like
because I'm talking about like the production of like their bigger, most paid guys.
Yeah, I don't even know. The thing is with Nashville and like comparing them to like a Pittsburgh, Boston, and Washington, these teams that are aging, it's that I mean like aside from Yossi, and I guess Saros who just came onto the scene within the past 2 years, all those teams, those 3 teams you just listed, they've had like superstars. They've never had a superstar.
David Legwand.
Aside from David Legwand, they've never had and Paul Gustave. You remember him?
No.
Okay, well, he was basically the left-handed version.
Didn't Jari Curry play for them too?
Yeah, but like I don't even know how long he was there for. He wasn't there for too long, if I'm mistaken. But they've never had a superstar player. Yeah, Forsberg's elite. He's an elite winger. He's not a superstar.
What's the highest they've ever drafted in NHL history has been?
I don't know. Off the top,
in the last 20 years, what's the highest they drafted in the first round?
Let's see, Askarov was top 10, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not really expecting anything big out of Nashville. Like, based on, if you just look at their cap friendly, look at their draft picks, their cap space, if they're with the right GM and the right moves, you can actually improve this team for next season.
I mean, for all you know, Barry Trotz might be the next GM because there's all those rumblings about him wanting to.
True. That'd be insane.
That would be, and you could. That is such a storybook like picture. The team that he coached, that's amazing. Yeah. That'd be cool.
All right, I guess we can finally talk about Tolvanen in a different sense now. To what I know you're a bit itching at it. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
So we messed up entirely. The Seattle Kraken are one of the best teams in the league, and Tolvanen.
Just helping them.
Yeah, I probably.
They're 10th in the league, so I wouldn't say one of the best teams.
Yeah, but it's also like the league. The teams that above them are. I mean, they have a record of 26-13. That's a great record.
They have a better. They're like 8th by points percentage.
So their goals for is 4th in the league, and their goals against is 16th. And then you also is it 16th? Yeah, it's 16th. And you think about it, it goes back to this like star players thing. The Seattle Kraken, they don't have a superstar player on their team. They don't. And, I mean, Matty Beniers, Shane Wright, they can become those, obviously.
Oh, I want to talk about that, by the way.
Matt Beniers?
No, well, yeah.
Both of them. But they both have the potential to become that. But it blows my mind how Dave Hackstall, who was mediocre in Philly.
Yeah, and horrible last year.
Yeah, he was horrible. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said in the offseason. but I mean they're playing amazing. Like they score goals. I mean, like I said, they're 16th in the league for goals against. I mean, that's right in the middle, which is fine. It's especially fine if you're also top 5 in the league for goals for.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I mean one of their I don't know all their bench bosses, but Dave Lowry from the Jets came over.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if maybe that contributed to anything because,
And they have draft picks, too. They have 3. They can add. This team is not using LTR. It's always important to remember, when you're using LTR, you can't acquire cap space as the season progresses.
Right.
So they're not using LTIR. They have 1.7 in cap. At the deadline, they'll have 3.5. They have for this year's draft, they have their first, 3 seconds, a third, 2 fourths, a fifth, 2 sixths, and a seventh, which is amazing for a team who's going to add, believe it or not. And, Jared McCann is playing unreal. Yanni Gord is amazing. Oliver Bjorkstrand is playing great. Burakovsky was a great signing. Schwartz, you really have him for the defensive side. Eberle's having a great year. Wenberg, I mean, you probably could live without him. Same with Brandon Tanev. Tolvanen is amazing. Geeky's great. Donata's, there.
They also don't even have a top 2 defenseman. They have just a really good top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
and then wait, real quick. You know what the craziest part is? They're this good. Philip Grubauer this season, .885 save percentage, and hold on, I'm not done. Martin Jones, he's got
isn't barely
.895.
Oh, I thought it was barely over 900.
So they have this.
So what are they doing right? I guess scoring goals is really it. I mean, they decided to score. I mean, yeah, like you said, adding Burakovsky and Bjorkstrand, that
They're
helps.
4th in goals for, yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, is it like a Vegas thing though? Because when Vegas in their first season, when they were fine out of the start, they continued to be fine. They proved that they were actual contenders out of nowhere, and it continued for it still is. It's still happening.
Jonas Donskoy is still on this team?
No, actually, I totally forgot about him.
He is 30 years old and makes $3.9 million.
He was good in San Jose.
He hasn't played a single game this year. Only had 22. He had 2 goals in 75 games last year.
He hasn't played a game this year?
No.
I wonder why.
And they have him on IR, not LTIR, which is they don't have Chris Drieger in LTIR either, who's out for the whole season and makes 3.5.
Well, Jared McCann is leading their team in goals with 24, 23,
Something
24.
like that, yeah. But it's this team's so good because they have so many just top 6 forwards.
Oh, yeah.
They have 8 top 6 caliber forwards.
I mean, we said that to each other when the season started.
So does Montreal too, but
we knew that they weren't going to be anywhere near as bad as last year. That was that was abysmal.
Because you can't.
And with all the top 6 caliber forwards they have, that they would probably hover around 500, maybe be a couple games below, a couple games below or above.
This team is basically spent to the cap already.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy to think about. Or they might even just been 500. But the fact that they're 13 games above, and I mean they don't seem like they're slowing down. Apparently, I watch their highlights and I watch recaps when I can, and they actually play such a fast pace. Or at least that's what I've seen as of late.
Well, also, they did what we talked about him when we kind of guessed what we thought they were going to do with him, but they did. They sent Shane Wright to juniors,
right?
And then they sent Shane Wright to the World Juniors,
mm-hmm.
and then sent him to juniors, which is crazy. He didn't burn a year of his ELC. 9 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist, I think, right?
Yeah.
He had an assist.
Goal against Montreal.
Yeah. 2
Perfect.
points in 9 games. Won the World Juniors. I think it was point per game there.
Mm-hmm.
7-7, I think.
Yeah, he was.
And yeah, now you can go probably get traded, I think, honestly. But
he already got traded.
Oh, that's right.
He went to Windsor. I mean, yeah.
Tactics the Spitfires.
Yeah, forget that. But he literally, basically everything we said a month ago, or a little over a month ago,
happened.
Yeah. We were right about that, but we just weren't right about the actual direction of the team.
Yeah. I think doing what you did with Shane Wright was perfect, but it's I don't know, because now I feel after this offseason you got to figure out you got to make that decor a little bit younger and ready for the future. You know what I mean?
And just better. I mean,
yeah, and that goaltending you got to figure out that goaltending.
Probably that before the defense.
Well, I don't think they care about bringing back Martin Jones for next year. I don't think that's top of their priority list.
Well, then who do they have? Grubauer for how much longer?
Grubauer for 4 more seasons. And Drieger for 1 more season.
Imagine trying to move that contract.
I know he hasn't played this year, but last year he had an 899, and then with Florida the year before that he had a 927, and then a 938 the year before that. Wow. He's on Ottawa, too. I did not know that.
Moving that contract is probably just as bad as trying to move the Duchesne one. Maybe worse because he's abysmal.
I mean, okay, so let's break it down here. Like, right now, the playoffs ended today. Seattle would play L.A., and they would have home ice. And LA's... I love the LA Kings, by the way. I'm on the LA Kings bandwagon for the remainder of this season. I also wanted to add in this episode as well. But who do you have, Seattle or LA in the first round? Seattle home ice at Climate Pledge.
I mean, that's so early to tell.
Halfway through, though. Like,
okay.
How far do you think this team can go? Actually, which is crazy, listen to this. Seattle, 43 games played. Vegas, 45. LA, 46. Right?
Mm-hmm.
LA, 56 points. Seattle, 56 points. Vegas, 58 points. So it can really... Okay. Do you think... I'll reframe it like this. Who do you take, Vegas versus Seattle in round one? LA versus Seattle, round one.
Probably Vegas and Seattle.
I'll say Vegas in like 6, and then I'll say LA in like 7.
Yeah, I mean, but it's we're gonna do a whole separate episode when it's like playoff time.
But like we're saying,
too early to tell.
I want to see how good. I'm asking this question to see how good you think the Kings are.
I mean,
what would you take them against LA?
I hear this all the time. Would I take the Kraken?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, honestly, because dude, remember that 8-4 game, 9-4, whatever,
Dude,
or
8-7,
whatever it was. I can't even remember. It was such a high scoring game. I mean, the Kings are, and I hear this all the time on social media. They're the only playoff team with a negative goal differential, which is crazy. So I mean, the fact that Seattle's 4th in the league for goals, they obviously can score. I mean,
two teams with horrible goaltending because the Kings have abysmal goaltending. Right, Phoenix Copley's their starter right now.
He's doing good, though, I think. Or he's not doing bad.
He has a good record. I think he has bad stats. So right now, 14 games and 904 save percentage.
It's not bad.
And then, dude, Cal Peterson's still in the minors. That's crazy.
Well, he'll probably live down there.
Jonathan Quick, 36 years old. He's got an 883 save percentage. Oh, my goodness.
Well, yeah, the fact that Seattle can... It's so weird to say that the fact that they can probably... score their way out of problems. That's what you say about like a Colorado and like a Florida of last.
Okay, to be honest though, we basically knew that Seattle would be able to score heading into this season.
Yeah, we knew that, but I would not have pictured myself being able to sit down and be like, they're going to score their way out of problems and they're going to have a plus 25 goal differential. I know you didn't picture that because I sure as hell didn't.
Daniel Sprong's also having a good year for them too.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to add that.
Yeah, I think he did fine last year. Obviously not nowhere near where he was doing.
He did decent for them last year, but like they didn't qualify him, and they let him go all summer, signed him to a PTO, and then gave him a contract for the season. So they barely got him. Last year, 6 goals, 0 assists in 16 games. This season, 27 points in 36 games, 14 goals.
That's really good. That is really good. I don't know what Dave Hacksaw did. I don't know over the summer, and I don't know if this is sustainable from year to year or if this is a fluke. God forbid I say that, but it does blow my mind that they're actually like this good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. I really don't know how far, because I don't know. It's just that goaltending's so bad.
It is.
Like, you have zero option for a goaltender right now. Defense is, I don't know. It's whatever. But, yeah, the Kraken are definitely unreal to, see, because they started off good, then they fell off a little bit, and then they picked it right back up. So, yeah, that Beniers Wright future combo is going to be so scary.
Just came off an 8-game winning
streak. Because Beniers, he's going to win the Calder right now. I mean, he's got 36 points. Next one is McTavish with 27.
Oh, yeah, I have no other
Maybe
candidate.
Logan Thompson, but...
No, I don't even have him. It's Matt Beniers literally drives that offense. He literally does. And, Logan Thompson, not to take anything away from him, he's good. But it's just, the team in front of him as well. Matt Beniers is, the driver of that team's offense.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to with Seattle, and we'll see how they're doing in a couple weeks from now. But let me ask you a question. Is Erik Karlsson can an Erik Karlsson trade happen at the deadline, or can it happen in next year's offseason, or can it not happen at all?
How many years does he have right now? I know it's $11 million. I don't know if it's actual money, though, or...
Well, I can actually answer that for you 1 second.
Because that does make a slight difference.
No, dude, he's got 4 more years left after this season at 11.5, and if it's actual money, it's actual money.
Okay, well.
Oh wait, actually,
I don't know. The fact that he actually did this, he revived his career on his own. He did it on his own. There was no one helping him.
Oh yeah. He knew he had to if he wanted to have any chance at winning. He's like, if I want to win, I got to play better.
Well, he's playing better, and they're still not winning. So, anyways, the fact that he came off this Achilles injury, I forget what really he did. I mean, it was in the 2017 playoffs as well that he did that. So it's been around for a while. From that to the personal stuff that's went on with his family, the stuff with Mike Hoffman's wife and the things she said, and then stuff with their child. The fact that he's doing what he's actually doing with his mental health, his physical health, it's unbelievable. But can I see a trade happening? No.
Did you see the asking price? They'll retain 18%, which I think is around $9 million. His cap hit will be, and they're asking for 3 first-round picks.
I don't think you retain that much.
This is because we're being honest here. I mean, he's 32. This is probably the only chance you're going to be, because if you don't trade him at the deadline, I think that's fine. I don't think you if you're a Sharks management, you don't care if you're not able to trade him, because you can definitely trade him in the offseason because they'll still might win the Norris.
Right, yeah.
But it's this is going to be your only chance. This next 6 to 8 months is going to be your only chance to ever trade Erik Karlsson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to. I understand you got to get value back for him because he's not a negative asset.
No.
You know what I mean? He's a positive asset, but you also have to limit what you can get. It's okay, I'm gonna get something, but I got to take the value off that a little bit because of the contract and the age.
And here's the thing: it's also the one trading him, Mike Greer. There's a new GM in the league, so we don't even know what he's about.
He traded Burns, and he wasn't afraid to retain on Burns, right? I
totally forgot about that.
He retained $2.7 million on Burns, and he got a third-round pick for him, which is okay. Realistically, you knew he was going to do good in Carolina because that
team, yeah.
That's an equation that perfectly
Okay, so that doesn't count. All right, forget that even happened.
Realistically, you probably could have got a little bit more for Burns, but for Karlsson, I think if you're a team trading for Karlsson, and I can't even tell you where he's going because no team makes sense in terms of
cap.
Yeah, cap.
Mainly just cap
and value. You know what I mean?
Retain the 18%. Who has $9 million?
Yeah.
Just
But asking price wise, if you want to, I wouldn't say if you don't retain, just take the full 11.5. Mm-hmm. Because if you want to retain, then that adds value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you just take the full 11.5, I think a first round pick and that's it really. First round pick and a B-level prospect. That's if you have the cap space. So that's probably an off-season move because you have more cap space in the off-season, obviously.
But here the thing is that Mike Greer can actually probably he could probably really swindle his way in this deal because the biggest I think compliment he has right now, no matter who he's talking to, is the GM. He's going to bring up the stuff about his Achilles, stuff with his personal mental health. He's also going to bring up the fact that he's doing all of this on a atrocious team.
Yeah.
Literally an atrocious team. That's probably his biggest argument right there is that he's doing this on one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, but we also think about this too. Mike Greer has his hands full. He doesn't have to trade Erik Karlsson at the deadline. Someone he does probably have to, Timo Meier.
Yeah, you think that might be his first priority?
It is. That's literally what I was trying to get at. That has to be his first priority because if you don't trade him at the deadline, then you're not going to trade him because the dude literally just has to wait a month for his $9 million qualifier.
Yeah, he's still an RFA.
You know what I mean? So if you don't trade him at the deadline to where a team has more time to work out an actual contract, you're screwed. I did see rumors a couple weeks ago saying how Meier could be a rental in the sense where a team trades for him at the deadline and then just doesn't qualify him.
Yeah, because especially
because he's 25, 26 anyways.
You win the cup. Who cares? Yeah. Literally, who cares?
So I want to because right now his cap hit is only $6 million, chain half $3 million. You know what I mean? Where do you think Meier? What do you think? Because he's had also.
Not in a bad year.
26 years old, 43 points in 44 games.
Oh, actually, that's better than I thought.
24 goals. So where do you think he could end up? And for what? Most importantly.
Where do I?
I already have my answer.
Where do I think, or who do I want? Because I think I have.
Give me a team each.
The team that I think will actually no, they can't even make that happen. I think, and it's unrealistic because it's the same division, but I think maybe L.A. I think maybe because imagine adding Timo Meier to that top 6.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
Send like Cal Peterson the other way too for money.
Send him, and you're probably gonna have to throw in like Turcotte.
But you're not. I'll do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the money. I don't know the.
Yeah, which is fine.
Especially if you retain.
Especially if there's deadline cap space and current cap space, which is different.
Yeah, so that's the team I could see him going to, but it's just.
San Jose only has $900K in deadline cap space.
But it's also like it could.
So they can't take money back.
Oh, okay. Well then, but it's also like it probably won't even happen because it's the same division and whatnot.
Yeah. I have my answer.
Who's your team?
Boston.
Yeah.
First, they don't care about that.
No.
Lysell, they don't care about. Well, they
should, but
they'll get rid of him. Lysell and like maybe throw in like a 4th or a 3rd as well.
Could see that.
Actually, I don't think that's enough because if you're trading him to Boston, you're trading him to the President's Trophy team. So that pick's at least earliest you're getting that pick is like 26.
And you already know they're not going to.
Because it doesn't even matter if you get out in the first round if you're the President's Trophy winning team where your thing's at.
And you know that say it is Boston, you already know they're not even going to bother re-signing him because they're going to focus on if they don't have anything done.
I mean, they can still do it. I just think you need more value there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean though. Like Sharks GM, that's his number one priority is finding a Meier trade.
Yeah.
Because Meier, you can get a first round pick and a great level prospect. That's the starting, in my opinion, for Meier.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's big, he's fast, he can hit. You know what I mean? He can do everything at a little less level than Matthew Tkachuk, I like to think.
He's just a great power forward. That's literally what he is.
Yeah, and he's 26.
He's young. He is young.
Yeah. So if you're the Sharks, you definitely got to look forward to doing that but then also in the offseason, then I think you definitely got to trade Carlson.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to picture what
everyone's saying he's going back to Ottawa. What's your opinion on that?
Well, the fact that
I haven't because it could be first round pick Tyler Boucher and like Ridley Gregg.
Here's the thing: I don't even care what's going. If say it is Ottawa, I can totally. That's such a lie. I could totally see that happening. I could see that being the team because of one reason, and the fact that it's Pierre Dorian, who is just crazy.
Summer of Dorian.
Yeah, it's going to happen again.
I'll just be honest. I hate the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, and that's why
I don't think they're a good team.
No, they aren't, and that's totally fine. But
they didn't even sign Alex Formenton. How do you not sign Alex Formenton? And you have cap space to sign him.
There's probably I haven't really looked.
Something's got to be going on with that.
Yeah,
that we don't really know.
Which is fine, and I also haven't looked too much into it. But and then I guess I take back my comment where I just can't see a team. That is the team I could see doing it. Is the Senators.
Yeah, and then lastly, because one of us said our mark that we wanted to do today. Do you think Jacob Chikrin will finally get traded at the deadline? Because I'm so tired of these rumors now.
Here, okay, we're not. I don't. Do you want to do
2 more years left at 4.6 after this? He's 24 years old. Giving you all your information so you get the best result. And he's got 22 points in 27 games. He's a +7.
I didn't realize it was.
He's a +7.
Okay, so
he shot blocks a lot.
The one argument or the one issue is already off the table. Will he perform when he comes back? Answer: yes.
Still injury prone though. Still can't forget that.
He is. How many years did you say? 2 or 3?
2 more after this season.
Gosh. I think so.
If you're there, where's your Bill Armstrong?
Literally,
you got it because you cannot. I get you probably did want to trade him in the past. Price wasn't right, and he was hurt. I get that. Okay, now he's healthy, and the market's set for him. You're still going to get a lot for him. You have to trade him at the deadline.
Yeah, actually,
and at this point, I don't care who. I don't care who.
Yeah,
just trade him.
There are so many teams, so many rumors. The price probably for him could not be any more right than it is right now.
I think St. Louis is out of the question now.
Okay, yeah, that I also didn't. I didn't really give much thought to.
LA and Ottawa are the 2 front runners.
I have LA.
Oh, I got a team.
I have LA. I think we talked about this earlier. I could be wrong, but I have them, Ottawa, and I have Edmonton as well.
You know who I have?
Above those teams? Yeah.
The Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, I mean,
I could so see that.
And what would you even get? Okay, you give up Jagger Firkus because he's a good prospect.
First round pick.
And I mean, they want a lot for Chikrin.
First, second, Jagger Firkus, and jeez.
So here's the thing: it's like, will that even do it? Because in some lines,
and Will Borgen.
I don't know if they really care about Will Borgen.
Yeah.
But I mean, and not that he's having a bad year. We somehow
maybe you throw in Eli Tolvanen.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know.
But
that's what I mean. Like that's what I need. Like I want the media, fans, people online. I mean, they're not going to because that's not how it works. But like, I wish people would understand like these trade rumors that all these experts and insiders are releasing. It's on purpose because like if you actually it doesn't take long to sit down and actually think about it. If you actually think about it, a lot of these trades just can't happen, and like the teams that are saying are involved with it, it's just impossible. Because if you're a hockey fan and you don't know what cap friendly is, like shame on you. Because if you just look at it and you know how money works, your answer can be half answered.
Actually, it does the working for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who runs that account.
You can like do trades and stuff on here.
Yeah, I don't know who runs that account, who created it, but I mean, God bless you, honestly.
Yeah, it makes everything so much easier when you you think of stuff and like think of trade rumors and what's going on. So you really just got to look at it and like your answers can be solved.
So my team, probably Edmonton. I think that's probably the team I see him going to. You give up your first, you give up Borgo,
and
you give up.
You got to send like Fogle back or Puljujarvi for the cap probably.
You do one of those two. We'll say Fogle. Actually, no, we'll say Puljujarvi. We'll say him. We'll say a first, Borgo, and you probably have to throw in Broberg, I think. See if maybe he.
I don't think they're too pleased with him right now.
The Oilers?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably not. But I guess you can add him. There's no harm in adding him. He's 21 or something. I mean, he can maybe figure it out.
Coyotes do have a lot of prospects, or like a lot of young defensemen, man.
Yeah, J.J. Moser came onto the scene and
J.J. Moser, yeah.
Torched me in a week of fantasy.
Victor Soderstrom, Dyson Mayo. That Poliachonic dude.
I don't know what happened to Soderstrom. I remember I think it was the 56 game season, the COVID season. When he got called up for his a couple of games, he had 4 points in 6 games. Two of them were goals. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens though. I mean, as of right now, that's just what the trade rumors and everything like that's like. We had some other stuff that we wanted to talk about, but honestly, we'll probably have another episode released within the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2-3 days probably. We recorded this on Tuesday,
the 17th.
The 17th. It'll probably be up tomorrow, the 18th.
Yeah.
So we'll probably talk about the stuff we wanted to hit at in the next episode. But other than that, just a quick little one to get warmed back into the thing. And other than that, what do you got to say before we sign off?
Not much. We'll find a little bit more of a consistent schedule. This will definitely be up tomorrow at the latest, and then we'll try and get one more out.
I think we're going to use this episode to start clips as well, because I think got some good ones.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow the official Instagram. Stickemup.podcast is the handle. And other than that, I don't know what we're gonna title this, honestly. Maybe something with the Kraken.
Yeah.
I like the Predators talk. Maybe something with the Predators.
Yeah, because the Kraken are honestly they're a hot topic.
Honestly, I have no idea what we're gonna make it, but we'll think of something.
We'll figure something out.
But other than that, we'll see ya.
See ya.